If you can hear me, if you can see my screen, if you could go ahead and type that into the chat box, that would be great. We're going to give everybody just a minute here to get logged on. So if you can help me out by typing in that you can hear me and that you can see my screen that says, "This is Susie Nelson and I've got a question for you." Okay, that'd be great. Thanks so much for your help on that. So go ahead and type that in. I actually have to run up and grab something that I need. We're going to head this upstairs. So if you can let me know that you can hear me, that would be much appreciated. So just type into the chat box that you can hear me, okay? And we will be getting started here shortly. Yay, thank you very much, Jana. Thank you, Shannon, super. Happy Sunday to you too. Thank you. All right, let's see how we're doing here. All right, we'll give another 30 seconds. So while we're waiting for people, I know Jana, you're in Kansas. Am I remembering, or Kansas or Oklahoma? Which one is it? I can never remember. And Shannon, where are you located? And what company are you with, Shannon? Everybody, you can still hear me okay? I took my computer to a different room and plugged it into a second screen. So I was like, otherwise I couldn't see my PowerPoint. The system's really cool, but I forgot that I needed two screens. So, and how about you, Shannon? What company are you with? All right, I know we've got several more people registered, but we are going to dive in and get started because I have tons of information to share with you. Southern California, and you're with Plexus. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. All right, so I am going to assume that, oh, good. Welcome, John. Glad you're going to listen in too. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you guys know my background already. Okay, I'm going to assume that you know that I built, an empire in my home party business and built it to the very top in that company, achieved every possible goal, consistently had my organization sales in the top 10%, usually the top 5% in the company. And then when my company closed its doors in 2008, because they had made some mistakes along the way, that was after 20 years, they ceased operations. And so I was at a point where I could make a decision of, do I want to go to another company? Do I want to do something different? And since I really had achieved every possible goal with my former company, I decided that it was time to do some other things. So I did some non-home party things, and I also went on the corporate side of the business and worked for 3 different startups, which was a very interesting and amazing learning experience. So that was cool. But bottom line was, my favorite part of the business is helping people really build their organizations. In fact, I would love to see people build to the very top in their companies just like I did. And so about 2.5 years ago, I made the decision to go full force with my own training and coaching business. And I love it. I have a great track record of helping lots of people be super successful in their businesses. And so I'm going to talk through really what we do to give businesses a makeover. Okay, so that's really what happens, is that people come to me and their businesses are kind of a hot mess. And, you know, I dig in and figure out where they're at. I'm really good with figuring out growth strategies. And we give their businesses a makeover and we get them totally on track. Okay. So since we've got a small group, let's just get some feedback from you guys first about where your business is at. And I know a lot about Jana's business because she's actually in one of my programs, and I'm so excited to be working with you. So Shannon, just give us some information about where your business is at and where you want to take it. Okay, any challenges that you're having, or you know, just give me some more details about where your business is at. So while you're doing that, let me dig into this. So really, I'm looking to see how long you've been in your direct sales business, okay? Because here's my big question. If you've been in business for more than a year, and if you look at where your business is at now versus where it was at a year ago, how much progress have you made? Okay, so let's get real here. This is going to be like the Dr. Phil presentation. So good. So on and off for 15 years, new to Plexus. Okay, all right. Well, I hope that's going super well for you. So if you've been in business more than a year and it's not moving forward, how much progress have you made? So are you earning trips and incentives every time they're offered? Are you earning at least $1,000 or more per month each and every month? That's important. And most of all, when is the last time you earned a promotion? If your business isn't growing consistently, let me peek here at your comment. Want to be a health coach and use it, but the fine line when reaching out to someone then stalking them. Oh, okay. All right. So great to know that. Okay. So if your business isn't growing consistently, if it isn't increasing consistently, then I've got to ask, I mean, what will you do differently to change that, right? We kind of get into these habits and people keep doing these things over and over and over. And what you realize is they're really getting, you know, doing the same thing, but not getting any great results, okay? So how much longer are you going to inch along wishing and hoping that you could wave a magic wand and poof, have a huge organization and more money than you know what to do with? Isn't it time for you to take control and to create the business, the financial circumstances, and the lifestyle that you truly deserve? What would happen in your social selling or direct sales business if, for just 12 weeks, you focused on the activities that will position your business for rapid growth? Instead of doing the same things you're doing now, many that don't produce results, you do the key proven activities that will build your business rapidly once and for all. So that after 12 weeks, your business would continue to zoom ahead like a runaway train. And what if during those 12 weeks, you only need to dedicate 15 hours of your time each week? Because you'll be focused strictly on doing the right things. What would that do for you guys? I'm just kind of curious. Type that into the chat box. How will that impact your future? How can it change your life? What would that do for you? Just a 12-week makeover, okay? Well, that's what we're going to cover in today's special webinar, how to give your business a makeover. And Jana, just so you know, the good news is that this is a lot of what we are already doing in the course that you've registered for. So that's very cool, okay? So I just want you to understand that's the connection. All right, so here's what I'm going to cover. The symptoms of a business that's stuck, okay, and the step-by-step makeover process, okay, because you guys know I have a background in engineering, so I look at all of these things as systems and processes. To me, that's what the world revolves around. I mean, you know, think about how you load the dishwasher, right? You do it, I mean, you probably stack the dishes on the shelf, you rinse them a certain way, you stack them in the dishwasher a certain way. I mean, that's a process. Everything in life is a process. And the good news about that is when you're working with a process, you can improve it, right? And so that's really my approach to this business. And my dog is going crazy. Can you hear her in the background? So, oh, all right. So now here's a little warning, and that is you might not love hearing everything I'm about to share. And that's the hard part here is that, when a business is in a point that it's like we've got to kind of shake it up so that we can get it on track, sometimes it's not really comfortable to hear all of the information. But that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. And I'm sorry, I have to go quick grab this dog. I'm so sorry. Chloe, come on. Hey, Chloe. Chloe. I'm so sorry. Time out to get the dog to stop barking at I have no idea what, nothing. Okay, back to our webinar. That's the beauty of working from home, right? All right, so the truth is that the truth about your business will help you change what isn't working, okay? And so we've got to get really honest with ourselves and really take a hard look at our business and say, are the activities I'm doing just really letting me spin in my tracks? Or am I doing things that are moving my business forward? That's really what this is all about. All right, so with that, if you're going to be in business, and like I said, people don't always love to hear it. If you're going to be in business, then build the business, okay? So, that's probably to me the saddest part about direct sales is that there's so many people who, put out a lot of time and they expend a lot of energy and they run around and they do a whole bunch of activities, but the missing link is them actually saying, okay, taking that step back and saying, okay, is what I'm doing actually building this as a sustainable business, okay? I'd like to share a lot. You might have heard it if you've been on some of my other webinars, but I share the story of my friend and I. We became very best friends in the business. We started around the same time. She actually promoted to management 6 months before I did. And we were roommates at our new manager training. And we shared everything. We became, we talked almost daily. We went on trips together. We went on trips together, and we shared business ideas. We traveled. We she knew everything I was doing. I knew everything she was doing. And yet I built a business that, built to 6-figure income, right? And her business in her best year probably did $60,000 in income. In fact, I calculated over the time that we were in our business, my business earned over $1 million more than hers. And so it's that critical to really get taking a step back and saying, is this working? Is this building a sustainable business? Am I increasing my income each month? Am I growing my organization each month? So if you're going to be in business, it's time to get serious and say, yes, I'm truly in business and I'm going to build the business. So I want to talk about some of the symptoms of a business that is stuck. All right, so the first thing is that a business that is stuck rarely, so one of the first things I hear from people who are stuck is, I can't get bookings, or I can't schedule appointments, meaning for network marketing, or I book parties, but those parties don't stick. Okay, so there's something missing in the basic skill, the skill that's most important in our business. There's something missing and they aren't able to make that happen. I understand it totally because, I came through that with my own business, right? In the early stages, I couldn't book parties. And I really plunged in and figured out and got the training and the help and figured out how to become a pro at booking parties. So the first symptom is they aren't consistent with being able to put bookings or appointments on their calendars or make those appointments and bookings stick. The second symptom is that they're always booking those appointments or parties with the same people. Okay, so I call it the hostess roller coaster for home party people. And that's when, you know, they have a handful of friends and acquaintances who have become great hostesses. They book those people, do those parties, and then they kind of run out of parties until the new catalog comes out, and then they book those same people and those same parties again. Okay, and so they're just seriously stuck in that circle of the same people. And so when they're in that position, a lot of times people don't sponsor consultants because the little voice in their head will say, if I sponsor somebody, I'm going to lose out on my very best hostess. So why would I even want to talk to this person about the business? So they don't, right? And the second thing that happens is that, you know, if they aren't meeting new people, so they're not meeting new prospects. So they just really are stuck in that same hostess roller coaster, right? It's when the going's good, when the new catalog comes out, you know, there's a couple months there where they've got some good parties, and then they kind of die off again until the catalog comes out. Okay, another symptom of a business is that is stuck is that if the person has sponsored some team members, often her team members aren't highly productive. And that's because since that person's skills aren't, if her own booking skills aren't great, she can't teach those skills to the people she sponsors, right? So everybody's just kind of on this downward spiral. And a lot of times you'll hear the person, you know, almost blaming these people that they've sponsored when really it's a symptom of the fact that the skills were never in place to begin with. Okay, so that's another symptom of a business that's stuck. Another symptom is that a person may have earned a promotion, you know, depending on the company and the compensation plan. In some businesses, you can start to move up a compensation schedule pretty quickly. But often they've earned a promotion or two, but they don't get paid a title because they don't have the production in place to make that happen. I'm going to tell you another symptom is their team stops engaging. Okay, so in other words, they might have a Facebook group for their page, or they might do regular meetings for their group, but people aren't showing up. And there's a lot of reasons why that happens. We can't cover it all in today's seminar, but a lot of times that is a symptom of a business that is stuck. Okay, so the hard part is that when your business gets stuck like that, you've got to change things up. All right, so let's talk about how we, first, let me just ask, do you recognize any of these symptoms in your own business? So go ahead and type it into the chat box. I'm curious if you see any of these symptoms in your own business. So what do you think? Are you guys there? Or did me having to run and chase my dog? I have next door neighbors moving in, and my dog is just totally bent out of shape. So, all right, so you do see some of these things in your business. All right, thank you for that information. So let's talk about when I have someone who comes into my coaching programs. I want to talk about what that makeover process is, okay? Because it's going to sound very simple, but it really does take completely making over somebody's business to get them back on track. So if you think about it, when somebody is let's say that they're on, some talk show, daytime talk show, and let's say that they have put, that they're on for a makeover, and it's a fashion makeover, right? Well, what do they do first? They're going to take off all their makeup and their current wardrobe, and they're going to start from the beginning. And that's the same thing we have to do when we help make over somebody's business. Okay, so we start with their personal business, because if we can't get their own personal business solid, we can never help them build a long-term sustainable business. All right, so we really have to start with their personal business. Okay, and so we start with looking at their skills for booking appointments, all right, and booking parties. So in the home party business, this is the skill where you would first say, okay, let's work on getting some brand new hostesses on your calendar. Now, there's booking prospects all over the place, but what happens is that people don't do this, they don't approach it in the right way. So let me tell you what I mean by that. I believe the business is this process that I call lather, rinse, repeat. Okay, and in lather, rinse, repeat, it becomes very simple to diagnose where people are getting off track. So the first step in lather, rinse, repeat is that you network and connect and build that bond and rapport with someone. The second step is that you actually then get them excited about your products, okay? Because if they're not excited about your products, why would they want to learn, book a party or learn more about your information about your business? So you've got to get them excited about your products. Once they're excited about your products, then you can tell them the benefits of hosting a party or coming to learn more about the business information. So you've got to do it in that order. It's lather, rinse, repeat. Okay, so too often people will start to call people, and so I know, Shannon, earlier you shared that the fine line when reaching out to somebody and stalking them. It's a process, and it takes people getting used to the idea and hearing about it more than once, and we have to have the patience to let them adjust to that idea. It's a whole actual psychological process. Okay. But so when we make over their business, we have to first start with their personal booking skills. Okay. Once we are sure that they have, really done a super job with their own booking skills, then we want to take it to the step of their personal sponsoring skills. So, once they're solid on their calendar and they're not worried about, I have nothing on my calendar coming up, now we can say, all right, every party that you do or every gathering that you do, there's 2 or 3 hot prospects for the business. Okay, and so it's important to put things in place so that you can now reach out. So I need to ask for a clarification question, Shannon. Plexus, you're signing everyone up as a distributor, correct? And you don't really do parties. You might do information meetings, correct? Okay. Because I have a friend who started with that a couple months ago here in Raleigh, and if I know how she's approaching her business. So is that what you're working to do? Is really you sign each person up as a wholesale buyer? Is that correct? I just want to make sure that I'm providing the correct information that you need. Oh, and welcome, Anna. Great. Okay. All right. So we've talked about that we first start by really ramping up your personal booking skills. Then we're going to move to the personal sponsoring skills. And so there's things that are always missing. Okay. You can approach the info meeting events, but they don't have to be a distributor. Okay, super. Thanks. Because I know my friend's doing some pink drink. That's your business, correct? That there's some magic pink drink. Okay. Okay, so, and Anna, what business are you in? So please share that in the chat box so everybody, we have a small group and we're chatting away and making sure we're covering everything people need to know. All right, so here's the thing. Every party or every meeting you do, there are 2 or 3 hot prospects in the room who are looking for a way that they can change their life, okay? But what happens is people start to approach it all the wrong way. And what I mean by that is that they will start to say, have you thought about joining our company? Okay? And that's like asking somebody to get married before they've actually gone on a first date. I love that analogy. I stole it from another marketer guy that I follow his work, but it's such a perfect analogy. It's like asking them to get married before you've gone on the first date. Okay? And so, hang on 2 seconds. Ha! My dog came up here, so I shut the doors and trapped her. When that happens, right? So it's like, join my company, join my company. That is when somebody starts to feel like they're being chased, right? Instead, when you're really relaxed about it, because you know that there's a gazillion prospects everywhere you go, when you're relaxed about it and you sit back and you say, you know what? I would love to share more information about our business with you. You know, now that we know that you love our products, I would love to share more information about the business with you. Here's the thing though, I know it's not the right business for everybody. So you might hear the information and you might decide that it's just not a good match for you. And that's okay. All right, but why not just come, you know, get together with me for coffee or come to this meeting and learn some more, okay? I promise I'm not going to try to twist your arm. That would just be a waste of all of our time. I just want to give you some good information so you can decide if this business is something that can truly, you know, transform your life or help you achieve a goal. So why don't we sit down for coffee? All right. So the big key here, this is a big hint, is that I said, let me share the information with you. Okay. If you just take from this webinar and switch from saying, come join my company to come learn more about the benefits of being a consultant, you will already start to meet with 2, 3, 4 times as many prospects as what you've been currently meeting with. Okay, it's very non-threatening. That's what you really want to focus on. All right, so once we have now tuned up your sponsoring skills, so we not only do we work on how you approach people, we work on how you sit down with them and go through the information. We also work on how you take that meeting to a close. I can't tell you how much it kills me when I know people are out meeting with prospects, meeting with prospects, meeting with prospects, and they're never getting anybody sponsored. And it usually happens because they just don't say, well, you know, where are you at with all this? I have this special group of, these are amazing women. It's 231 leaders, and we're doing a special project with them and their entire teams. And one of the gals, it's really been fun because we are getting so much engagement and sharing in this group. And those 2 leaders are also learning a ton because they had been frustrated that they've been doing things and not getting a ton of engagement. So they're learning a lot of leadership skills from me through this whole process. And at the same time, it's growing their teams, okay? And so it's been really cool. And we just had a gal post the other day, oh, you know, she met this woman at her presentation and she talked about the business a little bit. And so, you know, she booked a party, and when they have her party in November, she's going to talk to her about, you know, looking at the business. And, you know, of course, both her leader and I were saying, no, call her today. Why would you wait? We can turn that party into a launch party in October if she's excited about the business. But so, you know, she was hesitating. And again, it's probably because she's working to build up her parties, right? So do you see how these things are all connected pretty often? And so we really want to work on how to take that to a close, how to get the people sponsored quickly, I mean, off to a fast start, and then also how to take them, you know, and really work on getting them off to a strong start and past what I would call their speed bumps, so they become extremely productive in your organization, you know, if it's the right business for them. Okay, so it really makes a big difference. All right, so then next in the makeover process, we want to, in addition to your personal sponsoring, we're going to work on your networking skills. Now, There's lots of different ways to network your business. Of course, the very best way to network your business is by meeting people at your parties if you're in the home party business, or getting your guests to bring guests if you're in the network marketing business. But so you really, next we want to tune up your networking skills, and that's very important. So once we have you networking, because we want you to be connecting continually with new prospects, right? Now we can really focus on ramping up building your team. So you might have some team members that have to be restarted, or you might be ready to launch some new team members more effectively. But now we want to really start to multiply what you're doing in your business so that you can start to position your business for rapid growth. Okay, so do you see how this all connects together? Do you see how it all works? Okay, so next we are going to work on leaders building leaders, because of course that's when you start to do the super multiplication, right? When you start promoting leaders like crazy, now your business is growing exponentially. I mean, because that's really how it works. And finally, when I help somebody make over their business, I share my secrets for accomplishing more in less time, because that's really, really critical, is that you want to get to where literally the only things that you're doing in your business are things that are taking you to to sponsoring a new person or promoting out a leader. And so literally we start to, I call it scrubbing your business. In fact, I like to use the term loads, and L stands for leverage, O stands for outsource, A stands for automate, D stands for delegate, E stands for eliminate, and S stands for use systems. Okay, when you start to do that, literally as I started to implement that in my business, pretty soon I was to the point where I could achieve in 6 to 8 hours per month what had previously taken me 30 to 40. And that was training new people, meeting with prospects, building new leaders, and finding new hostesses. I got that all down to a system where I could do it in 6 to 8 hours per month. So it really can make a big difference in how fast you can grow your business. All right, so I promised that I would explain how you could access more of my coaching and training, because this is an exciting time. We're heading into the fourth quarter. So I want people to be really, really well prepared so that they can really have their business tuned up and ready for having, just explosive growth in the fourth quarter. So I'm looking for a very special select group of consultants. And I want to work with people who are committed to success, who are passionate about changing their lives, who are willing to do the work, because some people talk big, but they're just not willing to do the work, who understand the importance of investing in a business to grow the business. And that's why I'm launching my exclusive business transformation course and coaching program, okay? Now, here's how this works. And Jana, you're already in this, so this is a good review for you. But each week I post a training section and an assignment in the online classroom. So we don't want to spend time during our coaching portion having to go through those skills. We just want to answer questions and help people get past speed bumps. Then these assignments are all things that are going to take you through that process and help you grow your business, okay? Then each week on Tuesdays, I hold a live question and answer call. And gosh, we get some amazing questions in those calls, and everybody really benefits from those discussions. Those calls are recorded and they're posted in the online forum, okay? And then you'll also be invited to a private Facebook group to post questions, connect with other members, and share your successes, because that's really important. It's personal attention, friendly accountability, cutting edge training, and strategies that can change your business forever. So that's why I'm only letting 25 consultants into this special group, okay? So some of what we'll be covering, we're doing this whole makeover process that I just explained. So we'll be working on your personal business. We're going to crank up your booking skills. In fact, in the first 2 weeks of the program, my goal is that you book enough parties to completely recover your investment. So that's what we're going to be focusing on big time. I want to help you find new hostesses, both in your current customer list and outside your warm connections that you currently have developed. We want to get you to the point that your biggest problem is that you don't have enough room on your calendar. I mean, I've got several students right now dealing with that issue, that they literally can't put any more people on their calendar. They don't have the time. So that's a really good problem to have to deal with. We're also going to go into hostess coaching. Now, again, I know you probably have some of this information from your own companies, but in my world, hostess coaching really is the start of talking to your hostess about joining your business. In fact, my goal is that by the time you actually do her party, that has been converted into her launch party because she has signed on as a consultant. Second best scenario is that you have talked to her about the business and this party is being used to help her make the decision. Okay, so that's what we go through in hostess coaching. Personal sponsoring. I want you to get so good at your personal sponsoring that you're bringing in 2, 3, 4 new consultants every single month and really helping them get off to a great start in their business. The thing is with personal sponsoring, it's how you approach your prospects. It's how you meet with prospects. What happens when they sign, that new consultant experience is critically important, and how to get them launched quickly and effectively and past their speed bumps. So it's really, really important. Like I said, we're going to go into different types of networking. One of the big things that happens so often when consultants are stuck, okay, is that they've tried lots of networking, right? Maybe they're doing vendor events. Maybe they're attending some networking meetings. Maybe they're doing fundraisers. There's like a dozen different kinds of networking I can think of off the top of my head. And they're doing all these events. But when I said that if you're going to be in business, then build the business, they don't take a step back and say, how am I turning all of these activities into business? And if I'm not getting it turned into business, why would I continue to do it? Like, I know people who have attended networking groups for years, and they maybe have somebody, make a purchase from them here or there. Maybe somebody in the group hosts a party here or there, but they're investing all this time and it's not truly producing a huge spurt in their business. And so it's kind of not a great business decision to be there. Wouldn't you agree? And so I want you to do networking, but then take it to this level that that everything that you're doing in networking, you're saying, how am I going to turn this into some amazing results? Okay, very, very important. All right, the next thing we work on in your makeover in this special program is how to build a highly productive team. That means how to launch them effectively, how to coach them through when they hit those speed bumps at a critical phase in their business, how to start to have them embrace becoming a leader and really teach them how to keep their calendars full, how to provide accountability without making them feel like you're their boss, and then how to move them up the ranks into leadership so that it continues to grow your organization. So very, very important. We're going to talk about earning promotions, right? Because that's the next step in building a strong business, is earning a promotion yourself, but most importantly, earning a promotion that is structured so you're paid at title and have a strong organization to support it. Earning incentive trips. If your company offers incentive trips, there's no reason you shouldn't be on every single one. I have some great strategies where I teach you how to break it down. And most people say, oh, I break it, it's 6 months long, so I break it down into 6 months. Like, no, that's not the way to earn a promotion effectively. So I'll teach you my tricks. And then finally, of course, building leaders yourself. Because that's the way to, if you really want to be among the top 1% in this industry and you really want to make some great money, then leaders have to build leaders, okay? All right, so I told you I'll also teach you how to do my loads formula. That's leverage, outsource, automate, delegate, eliminate, and use systems. And when you can really start to get good at this, your business will absolutely explode because you're so focused and you're so just on target that only activities you do are producing results that are growing your organization. It's just amazing how it can help you, okay? So by the end of this 12 weeks, and again, I don't want you to think that this is going to take up a ton of your time. I'm just teaching you business strategies that I want you to implement because, right, you're already working your business. We just now are going to help you get some really great results. So by the end of the 12 weeks, your business will look entirely different and you'll wonder how you ever made it so difficult. So I want to just tell you about some of my past students in this program. Marianne Metcalf, she's with Melaleuca. When she first started in this program, she earned a double promotion. And this is so cool. So she actually was in some of my coaching for about a year. And then she didn't need me anymore. And one of the things we kept talking about was how she needed to start transitioning to doing things with groups. And especially for you, Shannon, this is really important because, you know, she was meeting with people one-on-one. She was meeting with, 8 to 10 people per week. And, I kept saying, you could be doing this in 2 to 3 hours per week. But so once she actually sponsored a couple people onto her team who said, do you think we could maybe do some meetings? Because I've got all these people I would love to invite. So they kind of forced her into the group meetings. I connected with her a couple weeks ago, and they now have group meetings in 4 different locations each week all over the Columbus, Ohio area. She just earned 3 more promotions. She earned a trip to the Bahamas. 2 of her new leaders earned the trip with her. I mean, her business is just exploding. And so I'm so happy for her and so proud of her. And she knew nothing about direct sales when she started. So she's doing super well. Marie Street, she was in my coaching for about a quarter. They had some personal circumstances, but she took the things she learned in my coaching program, implemented them in her business, but she has some health restrictions that require her to do everything virtually. She has built her entire business doing virtual parties. She's absolutely amazing. So she took the concepts I taught her and just figured out how to do it, the same things, but using virtual platforms. She has earned a couple different promotions, and at this stage, she's a prima leader with Ruby Ribbon. Meredith Yost, she was actually in my original, organization in my original company. So it's such a wonderful, compliment and honor when somebody who was in your business, in my prior business, actually, continues on. She relocated, she built her team, and she earned a promotion quickly. And she now is continuing to grow her organization, and she's going to promote her next team members. So that's super cool. Helene Leonard, she is with 31. She's a full-time school teacher, has 2 little kids. Her husband's a police officer and works crazy, crazy hours. So she has very little time she can commit to her business each week. But she promoted her first director. She has another one she'll be promoting this fall, so she'll be earning the senior director title, and she's just on fire. Tricia DeVoe came into my coaching wanting to, number 1, earn her promotion with 31 and also earn her company's leadership trip. This was in mid-January. She qualified as a director by the end of March, and by the end of April, she had qualified for the leadership trip, and she just got back from that trip, and she had a blast. Dondria Bryant, she earned her leadership trip. Now, in fact, I want to try this. Okay, so Dondria, I don't have it in here. I'm sorry. She recorded this cute video for me, but she started in my coaching program a couple years ago, and at that time, her calendar had no bookings. She was anxiously waiting for leads from her company. She had promoted to director, and she was kind of limping along, just barely making their numbers. And so she started in my program. She has mastered this business. She's like this superstar. She now has, she can't figure out what to do with all of her bookings. And she sponsors on average about 2 consultants per month. And she's getting ready now to promote leaders like crazy through this special program we're doing. She's just phenomenal. All right, so if you're ready to transform your business and change your life, then this special program is normally $19.97, but if you take fast action, you can join the program for just $997. And you'll get 6 special bonuses. So you'll get access to my bookings course. That's normally $197. You'll get access to my hostess coaching course. That's normally $197. My sponsoring course, $197. Sell more at every party, which is $197. A listing on startahomepartybusiness.com, that's $97. And one of our new special treasure hunt certificates for just $97. So you get all that, but I forgot to put the slide in. You get all of that actually for just $997 if you take fast action. So basically, this is a special that I'm helping people with who are on this special webinar. And you can get in for just $997. So you're getting $1,000 off, plus you get this all these special bonuses, and that's not offered anyplace else than people who attend this webinar. So grab your spot now, and I just want to take a minute and answer some of the common questions that I get that people are often thinking and they would like to ask. So they might be thinking, I already get training from my company. And it's like, yes, company training often is very focused on new consultants. And so it doesn't necessarily really address when people are kind of at that stage where they're stuck in their business. And often the company trainers, if you really get some information, often the company trainers haven't built huge businesses themselves. So they might be really great at coaching brand new people, and obviously they're nice and they do a super job. But if they haven't taken people to that highest level in their companies themselves, they don't really know some of the techniques and the skills that you need when you have to really think differently to grow faster. You might be thinking that your upline, your upline probably hasn't gotten there. Maybe you're, I know people think, oh, I'm under, so-and-so who's at the top of the company, but they're like 14 levels up from them. I'm talking your direct sponsor, your direct upline. And so it's hard for them to coach and mentor you if they haven't gotten them there themselves. And you might be thinking, again, about your company training, I'm just kind of curious if the training has been working for you, right? If you're running all over the place like crazy, but your business really isn't moving ahead, then possibly what you're being coached to do isn't really working for you. And I know that there's some people who have become free training junkies. And I got to tell you, if that's the case, you really want to give some careful thought, because I have several boxes full of notes from free training courses and webinars, and I'm totally appreciative, and sometimes I learn something that I implement, and that's great. But the courses that I've actually invested in are the ones I've listened to several times, taken careful notes, and implemented what I learned, okay, because I've got the skin in the game. All right, so I'm only interested in working with consultants who are serious, and to do that, you have to have some skin in the game. So with that, I have one more urgent bonus to tell you about, and that is the fact that at the end of this special 12 weeks, I'm going to pull one name from all the graduates and schedule a trip to your area to do special training with you and your team. Okay? So go ahead, grab your seat, and do it now before the course is full and you get locked out. So go ahead and reserve your space now.